You didn't even think to put the pineapple on for like the
No.
last show?
No, it's too dark, and I don't want it to look like I'm all over the place. And I would ideally, maybe before the end of the episode, I will.
Okay, that's fair.
Which means I have to actually prepare it.
You gotta plug it in.
Oh gosh! But ladies and gentlemen,
we are back.
We are back
for the final time this season.
Final ride.
You will not see us. You will not see us again
for 6 months.
For 2024.
That's wild.
That's it. We're done. We're done. We're done. There's no more of me and you for 2024. Like the only time you'll see me is just arguing in the comment section with people now.
That's true, but also the only time actually that's a good point. But we'll have no reason to argue with people anymore because.
Well, I mean, you might see me.
I'll see you otherwise.
You might see me arguing. You might see me arguing in the company Discord or arguing in a fantasy football chat. Like those things could still happen.
Yeah, of course, I think those things will happen. I have no doubt that it will happen because there's a trade. There's a lot of trades that are trying to. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of things there's something I need to chat to you about, but I think I might do it.
Okay, we'll talk about that off stream because everybody, all 8 people that have tuned in want to hear about Britball. One of them being Tibbs, because Tibbs wants us to mention the Uniball rundown is coming.
Yes, Uniball rundown is coming. We're leaving that over to Tibbs. It's not our problem.
I have no idea when it's coming. I just know it is. I know Tibbs will be doing it, but Tibbs is at work right now. Mate, nobody wants Tibbs back more than me. I want my Mondays back. I got shit to do.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Winter, having my Mondays back when football's on. Oh yeah,
bro. This Sunday just been like the moment that Blitz game. The moment the Warriors game got out of hand, I was like, I've got an Orioles game to watch. Disappointing watching them lose to Tampa Bay. I was like, I got red zone coming. Like, I'm not sticking this out any longer than need be.
To be fair, I was sort of. So I had my laptop. My laptop's shit, by the way. It's absolutely on death's doors. I had that on. I hotspot. I was hotspotting on my way home from the football game that I was shooting, and it was like, all right, cool. I have Baffa there. I'll have red zone on my phone. Let's go. And then it got to half time, and I was like, yeah, I can't be asked to do this anymore.
So 14th of October. So we're still looking at another month.
Thank you, Russ.
So people are going to get their Mondays back.
Yeah, for a couple weeks.
Because there's going to be none of us. There's going to be no Tibbs.
No.
There's going to be
nothing. Just
Thank
Monday
you, Russ. We greatly appreciate it. I know that you've been a very gracious host to Micah on a couple of occasions when you've seen him. So
they have. I have to admit, they have. The Cambridge Cats looked after me very well when I came down.
And obviously,
they didn't make me.
Russ has been a passionate follower of the show for a good couple of years now, so we greatly appreciate that. Should we jump straight into it? Because, like I said, I've got a full NFL Week 1 recap article to write. So
yeah. So we'll start off with what the first game that kicked off for Britball weekend on Saturday was the Colchester Gladiators playing Sunwell Steelers. It was an absolute defensive game.
14-0. 14-0 was the final scoreline for anybody who doesn't know.
It was yes.
I didn't see this one. I haven't seen any of this one.
I was in and out. I was in and out of it because I was in and out of sleep. So I was absolutely shattered.
It was quite early-ish on Saturday, wasn't it?
It was a 12 p.m. kickoff. It was a 12 p.m. kickoff, so it was a really early game. It wasn't.
I was out doing my shopping. I had life. I had life to do.
Yeah. Offensively could have been better. But defensively, if you're a defensive player, you love defense, it was definitely the type of game for you to watch. It was that type of game. So
both teams deservedly make it back into Div 1 next season. So congratulations for that for both Colchester and Steelers. congratulations to Colchester. You put together a marvelous season apart from that little blip to Ouse Valley.
Yes. It would have been an undefeated season, and
I saw the video that we reposted of like them being stone cold coming to the ring with a chair.
Yeah.
I was like, do you really get to knock Ouse Valley out with the chair? Because they put like Ouse Valley over one of their faces. I was like, do you really get to put Ouse? Like, you need to have the Rock coming in to hit you with a fucking rock bottom or something, because you guys got shocked. You guys got your pants pulled down 1 week by Ouse Valley. You got caught napping, but it doesn't matter because you still went on. You won Div 1 South and then you won Div 1. Div 2. Div 2 South and then you won Div 2 and now you're in Div 1. So congratulations, Colchester. Marvelous season. Well done.
Yes. Congratulations. And the second game of that day on Sunday was the Birmingham Lions women versus the London Warriors women. That, again, was a very defensively game. The defense balled out and it was evenly matched. I'm going to be honest. It was definitely an evenly matched game. Did you by any chance catch it?
Saturday, I had life. Like I didn't see any football on Saturday. I caught 90% of the Div 1 final, and I caught probably 40% of the Prem final.
Yeah. It was a great showing by both teams. I'll have to say and be honest. Warrior, it was kind of odd because I've seen the Warriors play before, and there wasn't really a lot of passing in the game. Again, it was a lot of rushing, and obviously some players changed on the Birmingham side. They changed positions, and it seemed like changing positions was for the better for the Birmingham Lions because they had a player that was able to move sideline to sideline and was able to sort of shut down the run that the Warriors would do to get outside. So it was pretty impressive, I have to admit.
Well, shout out to Birmingham. I know that I picked the Warriors based on the fact that the Warriors won it last year. I know there was quite a few people who thought that the Warriors were going to go back to back, so it was seen as a bit of an upset. So, congratulations to the Birmingham Lions ladies. Hard fought season, well fought season, and a championship to celebrate.
Yes, and the score was 8-6. I did forget to say that Birmingham Lions did win 8-6. If you didn't somehow get to see it, but the one thing I would say is I'm intrigued that they played all their games in April, May, and they played their last game in June. I think both teams played their last game in June, and they had to wait all the way to.
That's a big call off.
Yeah, you have to wait all the way up until September. I feel if that's the case, if there's not enough teams, maybe start them in June when there's a bit more. You can space the games out more evenly instead of having like 2 months off before you play another actual really competitive game for both sides. So that's just me, but hey, we'll see what happens. Did not see the Warriors women play like they've done through the other games of shit this season. It's true. It did seem a bit different in the way that they were playing. The force, it felt like the force wasn't there 100%. But both women's team put up a great showing. So it was very exciting and it was worth it. There was no playoffs because of the issues of last year. Oh, right.
Yeah, because do you not remember that one of the games got forfeited because
Leeds couldn't get down? Yes.
Baffa was unwilling. Baffa was unwilling to support with travel for the
Yes, I do remember that now. Yeah, which is shit. Which
that's a joke.
Yeah, I've always been a shout that for travel, at least cover something. Cover something for travel. But
okay. Let's
move on.
Let's jump across. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game that because even though obviously there's the national title game, I feel like the D1 game is more polarizing. It's more hotly talked about. Like, don't get me wrong, me and Tibbs picked the Aztecs to win. Yeah. I didn't think the Aztecs were going to win. It was a hope and a dream. Like I was just like, Please do. Like, I didn't think they realistically had a chance. I don't know how Tibbs felt. I don't want to speak for him. But most people would have seen the final, like both finals going in. Like, we knew the D1 final was going to be absolutely one-sided going in, like, especially when we found out that Rushmore was going to be a QB short.
Yes.
But it still felt like the D1 final was more hotly anticipated than the Brit Bowl, like the Brit Bowl. It just kind of felt like it was just another Warriors run out. So I want to talk about the D1 final.
Okay.
So there we go. Tibbs was exactly the same. It was just a hope and a dream. It was like, please, Bristol, but we didn't actually think it was going to happen. I mentioned this a couple of times on Sunday. If I'm Solent, I'm absolutely fuming. There's no promotion relegation because if I'm Solent, I'm not going down to Div 1 anymore because you're going to beat the brakes off the Rushmore team that played on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But in the last half hour, I've turned into a vehement Rushmore defender against some of the guys in our own Discord, just based on the fact that people say, well, one of the guys mentioned that D1 South was just an absolute shit show.
Like, D1 South is better than hold on.
And that's the conversation.
Okay. So just in case, what was the final score? I do not remember.
49-9, I believe.
Okay.
They were just shy of a 50 burger.
So Nottingham Caesars beat Rushmore Knights 49-9. Okay. Now, does that represent how the South is compared to the North?
I personally don't think it. Now, obviously, people are extrapolating that on the fact that Leeds ran Nottingham close.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? All right, yes, Rushmore didn't have their QB, fine, but he doesn't play defense, so we can't.
But it's very difficult to play defense when your offense is consistently going 3 and out. When your offense is not stringing together drives, and the moment you've come off the field, you've just got some water. You've walked into the huddle to hear your coach say something, and your head coach is already saying, "Defense, grab your helmets." And when you're doing that consistently, your defense just becomes an absolute nothing. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I've been there before. I've been on teams where I've just consistently been going back onto the field because offense couldn't do shit.
Bro, when that third drive, that third 3 and out hits in a row, you just start going, fuck my life.
Yep.
Like you've just had your water, you're about to listen to your DC tell you something, and your head coach is like, "Where's my defense? Starting defense." And you're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And you're literally seeing the offensive tackles come off because QB's thrown a pick.
Yeah.
Or fucking you're seeing the punting team is already out there because they've gone through like run up the middle, incomplete pass in the space of 40 seconds, and you're just like, fuck my days.
Yeah, that's true. And it is hard. That's true. You can only beat what is in front of you. It's very true.
So none of this is reflective of Nottingham whatsoever. We have said it all year.
I said it from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, no, we both Nottingham. Like when we talk about the level of quality between Div 1 South, Div 1 North, I do not include Nottingham.
By far,
I do not include Nottingham because Nottingham are not a Div 1 team. They're not. They are leaps and bounds above anybody else, and they proved it in the final where they played the best from the South and they beat them 49-9. They are leaps and bounds above anybody else. I would say at the moment they are probably a top 6, top 8 team in the country.
I'd say they probably beat most of the Prem teams.
So like who would? So at the moment you look at the top 4, right? I don't think they beat Warriors.
No.
I don't think they beat Aztecs.
No, probably no.
I don't think they beat Titans.
No, it might be a close ass game.
Newcastle.
Yes.
That was the final.
That was one that's the one that failed them last year. But I think this year they probably would be able to beat them this year.
Yeah, and then so after that you've got Cats.
Yeah, they'd win probably.
Yeah. East Kilbride, Tamworth.
They'd win. Yeah, they probably win though. Tamworth defense would probably hold on. But again, playing defense 90% of the game doesn't help.
So that's still you're saying that's three definite teams would beat them, and then you're starting to get into the arguables when you talk about Tamworth and Newcastle.
Yeah.
So that puts them as a top 6 team in the country. So this doesn't reflect on Nottingham at all in any way, shape, or form.
True. It doesn't.
So it's more like the best of the rest. Where does Leeds and Scunthorpe and Shropshire, where do they stack up in comparison to D1 South?
Yeah, and that's something that we're never going to really truly find out, because it's mad for me to say, I would love to see just one game that's up with a different person from a different division.
Oh, I would love to see cross-divisional playoffs from like the wild card.
We know that we won't see. It used to be like that. Like
I would love it from wild card week. Like you take the top 12 teams in D1.
Yes.
And then it's I would love to see it that 6 in D1 North plays 3 in D1 South. Like I would love right from the wild card.
Because the thing is, it used to be like that in Prem. So when it was 4 teams that made it from both South and North, you'd have the fourth seed. So I was playing with Olympians, and we traveled up to Tamworth. This was my first year. We traveled up to Tamworth to play Tamworth, and that was fun because it was like, oh, it's another team that we've never seen before. It's a completely different place. This is fun to play. It would be great for the playoffs to probably widen out a bit.
It would be an absolute like scheduling nightmare though, because the thing is, it's like, you've got teams from like for this year example, like who finished third? I think it was Glasgow. So you'd have like you'd have like Bristol traveling to Glasgow, or Cardiff traveling to Glasgow, or something. Like it's not schematically feasible.
No, it's not.
But I would love to see it, just based on like how much more fun it would be.
Yeah, but again, it doesn't hamper the way that Nottingham have done, because Nottingham have been on a steamroll. Apart from that loss they had last year, they should have been in the Prem already. Let's be honest. They should have been in the Prem if they didn't.
Well, you say apart from the loss that they had last year, but the loss they had last year came to a team that finished in the playoffs this year, made the playoffs in the Prem.
That is very true. So it's
there we go. As Gary said, you get Bournemouth traveling to Glasgow. It's just not ideal.
It's not ideal. It's unless you picked a stadium that's halfway between both teams and you played it there.
Yeah, but then you're having to centralize everything for weeks and weeks on end, and it just becomes a scheduling nightmare. Like it's not possible. Well, I don't want to say possible. It's not probable, and it's not really feasible in terms of the amount of money that would be required to get it off the ground. But it would be such a joy to watch. It would be so much more. It would be so much more exciting than regular old playoffs. Like I'll put it that way.
It's true. To be honest,
when you see some teams like for the Div 2 side of things, we saw in the playoffs, we saw fucking like Colchester play Essex again.
Yeah,
we saw Gateshead and Darlington. Like it's just
You don't want to say
Gateshead and Darlington both got rolled by their respective teams, so we ended up with Surge and Sandwell again. And I mean that could happen with a cross country playoffs, but it's less likely.
Yeah, but if it does, Look, Let me not get onto that rant of just getting
rid of it's a different discussion. But ultimately, getting back to the actual game at hand, Nottingham were just too good, in all facets of the game.
I will say one thing: Ben Harrison is a dog. Ben Harrison is legit. I ain't gonna lie. Some of the catches, his second touchdown caught me off guard because I was very confused on what was going on because I saw the DB jump for the ball and then all I saw was Ben just consistent carried on running. I was like, "There's no way he has the ball."
So I saw he won MVP for the game. Yeah. Well deserved. He was the best player on the field for the entire game. But I would say that the second best player on the field did not play for Nottingham. The second best player I saw in that game did not play for Nottingham.
George. Who?
Godfrey.
Godfrey. Yeah, sorry, Godfrey, yes.
Yeah.
He did show up. He showed out as well.
Stephen Godfrey, 89 for Rushmore. Kick returner, wide receiver, scored their only touchdown. He was the only thing that Rushmore had on offense, and he was the only thing that they had to do anything with whatsoever. Because Nottingham didn't respect the pass, and they had no reason to. They had no reason to whatsoever. They didn't respect the pass. So, Rushmore's got the GB guy in the backfield.
Aaron
Sequala. And Nottingham didn't give a shit because they just stacked the box because they did not fear the pass in any way, shape, or form. But the second best player on that field, offense, defense, does not matter. It was Godfrey. Yeah. Because the amount of times I saw he was open, ball didn't come his way. When the ball did come his way, he was making contested catches, he was breaking tackles, he was breaking ankles. Harrison was the MVP, absolutely. But Godfrey was far and away the second best player on that field, no matter what uniform.
Yeah, I can't disagree because he sort of gave them a bit of extra life to be honest, I genuinely thought the game was going to hit probably 60 to 70 at some point. And
when it was 35-0? 35-0?
I thought it was
halfway through the second quarter. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is over." And then you had his kick return.
Yeah.
Then he had a clutch reception for first down. Then he had another clutch reception, and then he scored the touchdown. Yeah. And you were like, "Oh, okay,
what's happening?"
And this is where I literally said to you guys, because one of the guys we know was like, "The comeback's on, the comeback's on." And I was like, "The comeback is not on." If they come back from this, if Rushmore, and I said, I was like, if Rushmore wins this, I will get the Knights tattooed on my body. Yep. Because there was no way that they were gonna. But the thing is, he was single-handedly clawing them back from fucking.
He even played
nil hiding.
He even played DB to cover Ben Harrison. He even played DB to cover Ben as well.
Yeah, because they had nothing. They had nothing to answer for Harrison, so they were like, right. Well, let's put our best ball competitor on the other side of the field to compete. And I don't know if you've ever seen him in person. He's like 5'7".
Yeah, I've seen him in person.
He is not a big Harrison's probably 5'10".
Probably 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah,
I want to say probably pushing 6 foot, but
I would say 5'10", between 5'10" and 6 foot. He's a well put together dude as well. He is a fucking big dude to play wide receiver. I remember tight end.
I remember I told him, "Oh, you play tight end." He goes, "Don't do that to me, please. I play receiver." I was like, "My bad, bro. My bad."
Yeah, Godfrey, I think's 5'7", 5'8". He is not a big. He's again same thing as Ben. He's well put together for his size, but he is a small man. Yeah, and he just didn't give a fuck. So.
Yeah, good on him to get what he had to do. And to be fair, there was a period where I was like, "Oh,
there we go! Holy shit!" Okay, so that's even more. That's it. There we go. Okay, congratulations, Grant. Well done on the D1 National Championship. But there we go. Ben is 6'2", 220. So I think if that's the case, I think Godfrey's probably about 5'9". He's going to be fucking livid. I've said he was 5'7".
Oh, I can't wait for that now.
I mean, I'm 6'2" myself, so I just know he's sub 6 foot, so he's probably going to be fuming. I said he was 5'7", but there was a big old height difference when they were lined up against each other. But congratulations, Grant! Beautifully game planned season and well deserved on the championship.
Now relax, and I guess you're going to be preparing for 2025 anyway. I'm sure that you've probably started already. So that is definitely something that I was looking at. Harvey, you have been a great runner, but that hit you took, I was very surprised that you came back into the game.
Did Harvey go back in the game? Because I know me and you were talking about it.
I think you went back in to kick a field goal. Try the field goal, I believe.
But you got lit the fuck up. And I hope you're okay, because CTE is no joke. But did you go back in the game? Because if you did, that is just terrible on the part of your coaches, because goddamn, that was a helmet to helmet.
That hit? No, it was a clean hit.
No. So it was like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah,
he got his fucking rocked.
But I saw it. I was just like, oh, wow, okay. I had to turn my head away from my phone for a second. I was like, damn, that was a big hit. Jesus.
And he's right. Godfrey has been a top player for a long, long time. I mean, I played with Godfrey. Went back for a play, realized the world was spinning, concussion 100%. Yeah. So Jesus Christ. I played with Godfrey back in 2015, so nearly 10 years ago. And he was elite back then.
Ready planning.
The DMs are open.
That is true. Technically, they are open now. They are.
The DMs are open. Come get bodied by the Warriors in the playoffs.
But the first thing that we do have before that, we have one more game to talk about, which was probably
talking about the Warriors in the playoffs,
which was a sure conclusion. I called it from the beginning of the season.
You did.
Before anything else happened, I expected the Warriors to win it. Again, the combination of having probably the best defense join a team that knows how to run, knows how to control the ball, knows how to move. It was a foregone conclusion that Warriors were probably going to be champions again this year. It wasn't against the opponent that they wanted to be, but
I think they were probably sick and tired of hearing everybody talk shit about them. Everybody talking about Manchester this, Manchester that.
Yep. But it's one of those ones that Manchester's the only team that beat them, so they wanted that revenge game was there, but obviously Titans couldn't beat the Aztecs to get there. So it was one of those ones where you're just like, okay, the next best team. But then who's more successful in their first season? Knots in the Prem or the Glads in Division 1? Knots in the Prem. But the season hasn't started yet, so we will discuss that when we come back.
Out of curiosity, though, where do
Knots finish?
Where do the Glads get put? Like, we're getting a reshuffle.
Glads will be put in the division. Glads will be put in the London division. So they'll be with East Kent Mavericks, London Olympians, London Blitz,
Wembley,
maybe, because Wembley was actually with Rushmore. So
and so were Hornets.
So that will be Hornets, obviously.
But with Hornets, my point is, with Hornets getting relegated. They forfeited. They'll have to.
I still don't know.
They'll have to. They forfeited.
Okay, so Hornets and Norwich will go down. So maybe Wembley. So that means it will be Glads, East Kent Mavericks, Blitzby, Olympians, and Stallions. It should be that 5. Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about Exiles. And Exiles, 16 divisions.
You would assume that Rushmore gets moved, but they'll have 3. They'll have 3 divisions as well. So.
Well, Rushmore's up in the Prem, so.
But I think Nottingham performs better in their.
Yeah. They're more suited and ready for it. So.
I don't know who that is.
AJ Cobb. He plays for Bristol Aztecs. He is the receiver. I want to say. But he was brilliant in Finland at the Flag World Championships.
I actually watched a little bit of the Flag World Championships.
How was it? I never actually saw it.
I only saw New Zealand play because I had a couple of mates that were out there with New Zealand, so I only saw New Zealand play.
All right.
Aztecs number 0.
There we go. Yeah, it was basically a foregone conclusion from the moment that you saw the Titans lose to Aztecs. You sort of knew who was going to be champions anyway.
I think we started thinking the writing was on the wall when Manchester started struggling in their own division.
Yes, and it was sort of also on the wall with the amount of transfers that had transferred over to the Warriors for obviously better.
Oh, I didn't put any credence into that purely because I watched the Blitz play last year and not do anything at all. So I
get that.
But again, oh no, the Blitz have all transferred to the Warriors. But
the issue
last year. So what does it matter?
But the issue with that is the argument that we had previously when we were talking about defense being on the field 90% of the time.
Yeah,
that's what was happening with these players last year. They were just consistently on the field.
I can only imagine there's a big fucking difference going from playing with the Warriors offense to playing with anybody else's offense.
So it is one of those ones where you're more fresh. I expected it because I know all the boys, all of them are ballers. They know what they're doing. Most of them are in GB. Like there's 18 of them that are part of the GB program. There probably should be more, but I don't know if anyone else actually went for it. But that squad, again, as I said, is probably going to be one of the best squads we will see in a long time. What do you think happened to Manchester?
Their quarterback turned into Sam Darnold and started seeing ghosts.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. Who knows? But I will say we're not surprised that the Warriors won. And I do have to say congratulations on them winning again. I believe this is their 7th title since getting to the Prem on a consistent, regular basis.
That's probably a fair shout from what Gary said.
I think it's a lack of decent opposition, but then that's the same thing you could say about the Warriors in a sense.
Well, the Warriors. No, but the thing is, the Warriors have always had one team in with them.
Yes,
whether it's Bristol the last couple of years, whether it was the Blitz before that, they've always had someone else.
Manchester, they don't really have that one game that they really.
For Manchester, you've always had the top Manchester team, and then the second team in the north has always just been fodder for whoever has won in the south.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's possible that could change next year. Again, there's a lot of.
I mean, if we're saying that Nottingham are about to walk in as a top 5, 6 team in the country, then that would beg the reason that they're going to be fighting for that playoff spot, either first, second, or third. Well, first or second.
If there's a third, then that'll make things a bit more different. But it's very, very, very sort of unlikely, isn't it?
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Nottingham in terms of recruitment.
More people, they have a big squad as it is already.
Yeah, but it's in the area that they're in, it's quite a juicy area.
It is a very nice catchment area. There's not really anything else around.
They're not too far. They're not too far north. They're not too far south.
No, they're right in the middle. It's a 2-hour drive from most places.
Yeah.
If Warriors,
they get bodied. They get absolutely bodied.
It depends on who they get.
No, I'm of the firm opinion that Brett Ball is so far behind everybody else.
Brett Ball is very, very far behind. We are very, very far behind. Like that. I think it will be a closer game than what the Titans game was.
I'm not feeling it. I think they get bodied no matter what.
Well, all we have to do is wait and find out if
it's got like 8 months or whatever. But
so
if they go to Europe, they compete in the same tournament, they get one and done, and we don't worry about it until the following year, and then wonder who's going to get kicked out of it the year after that.
Fair enough. There's not really.
I don't know. It's just it was a point that I sort of raised in a conversation with somebody else, how they were just, again, going right back to our previous discussion about D1 South versus D1 North, and saying that D1 South was sort of hot garbage outside of Rushmore, and my point was, 90% of Brit Ball's hot garbage.
Yeah. Okay. It's shit that's
when you look at what you've got at the top and the disparity between
the top to everyone else,
the top to everybody else, it's
a big difference. It's very,
when you've got only 2, maybe 3 teams each year capable of being able to win it, it definitely dampens your outlook on
everything.
Yeah,
it does, and it's difficult because there's no way that the game won't progress, because it will just be Warriors for the next couple of years unless someone else comes out somewhere and battles them for it. But at the moment, that's what it looks like it's going back to. So,
interesting question from Coach Russ here.
Would you guys think Notts would have beaten Manchester if they played this year? I'd say it'll be a close game, but I think Notts probably would have snuck it by maybe a field goal.
I would say no. I think we're too
fresh.
It's at the moment we're very much sort of riding high on the hype. Yeah, they just bodied Rushmore, 49-9, but it's because based on the fact of, you think about how many teams had off games this season, and we saw Manchester have an off game and still be able to put away, Newcastle.
Yeah,
and they had an off game, I think, against Tamworth. We're still able to put away Tamworth.
Yeah.
When Nottingham had an off day, they got run close by Leeds. I think there's a big difference between the level of Newcastle and Tamworth and Leeds. So it's sort of an any day, any given day. But I do not think Notts would have beaten Manchester. I think even with Notts playing at their very best, unless they catch Manchester at their very worst, I think we've looked at the fact they lost to Bristol, and we're kind of forgetting how very good Manchester have been for the past 2.5 years. Like, this is a team that went undefeated for 2.5 straight years, right up until they played Bristol.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
No, I do not think Nottingham would have beaten Manchester if they'd played this season. No.
I get
next year, completely different story.
True, and then we'll see. You guys are writing off Manchester too easy. We're not writing them off.
I think that's aimed at you.
We're looking at
that's aimed at you.
I know it's aiming at me. I'm not writing them off, but they weren't really the powerhouse that they really were for the last 2 years. And you can see it.
And the team that they lost to was a team that still only lost 31-10 in the national final to the best team in the country.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those ones where it's difficult, but I'm not completely writing them off, but that semi-final game was not.
They are still the third best team in the country.
Yeah.
At this point in time. So no, I do not think Nottingham is the third best team in the country, so I do not think Nottingham would have beaten them.
Fair enough. But we digress because somehow we jumped off to somewhere else.
I'll let you monologue for a little bit.
There's not really much to monologue. It was just look, this game obviously was the first for a lot of players playing in their Brit Ball final. A lot of players that had left Blitz and had either gone to Bristol or they had gone to Warriors. This was the first time that they ever played, and this was Bristol's first time in the Prem final. Now, obviously, they're going to want to be back there again next year, so we will see if they do some mass recruiting from the universities, and whatever happens will happen. But they'll probably keep all these receipts. That's fine. Everyone can keep receipts. There's nothing that can be done. But receipts are meant to be, paid off. So if they don't pay it off, then the receipt just stays there. But yeah, it was a great win. It was a very tight. To be fair, it was a tight game up until the middle of until the fourth actually. It wasn't until the fourth quarter where Warriors took over and Andy Owusu broke it for the big runs, because it was 14-10 throughout the whole of the third quarter. So it was a very close game up until the fourth quarter, and then Warriors doing what Warriors, they started running that ball, and boy, it was a problem. It was a problem. I've seen some pictures where every lineman had a pancake in one play. There's pictures that I've seen. I'm just like, Jesus. Okay, so that's what's happening. Cool. So it's a great win. Can never knock it, because not many people get to see a final. Not many people get to see a championship, and Warriors have been there consistently over the last 12 years, 10 years. Like, consistently, they've been there every year, apart from that 1 year against where Tamworth beat Blitz. That's because Warriors were playing in Europe as well. So it is what it is. Warriors' depth in the backfield was different. It's one of those games that we expected that to happen. We just didn't know what the score was going to be.
Yeah, I think that's a fair sort of way to put it. Like, there was very few people that realistically thought that it was going to be a Bristol victory. And the reason I'm sort of looking away is I'm just tallying up all of our season's picks. So that was why I needed you to monologue for a little bit, and I've still got a little bit to go. So.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Ross, I'll see. I'll see what I'm doing next year and see if I actually have the time to do power rankings next year.
Yeah, whatever happened? Hang on. Has somebody asked whatever happened to your power rankings?
Yes, Coach Ross has asked for me to bring it back next year.
Yes.
I think I have to find a more feasible way of doing it. So I'll work out something.
Do it on the train.
No, that's just no. God no. No, I mean,
bro, you've got like an hour long. You've got like an hour long commute.
I don't have an hour long commute. I have like 40 minutes.
40 minutes is like an hour.
No, it's not. It's 20 minutes. 20 minutes off of that. I'll work something out and see if I can find a way to build something to rank the people so it comes off of a formula instead of my apparently mad judgment.
A formula?
Yes, a formula.
Yo, you getting clever as fuck up in here.
I'll build a formula to decide on the power rankings, and then we'll run it off of that. I tried to do it this year, but I just didn't have the time to actually sit down and actually do it. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with formulas, so it's fine. But yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to do. So just to let everyone know, I know that I have lost this year's rankings in our picks because I made some wild choices at periods. Wild choices like picking Oxford Saints to beat people. Like,
oh, that was a wee while ago though. Like
what on God's earth was I thinking? Like, I tried to do some wild choices and it just failed miserably. But yeah, how far are you in the picks?
I had to go find the week 12 ones where I think I did the show with Steve and I was working away.
Right.
And I had to go find them where you just put them in the chat sort of individually. Exiles and then Hornets won that one. Rush.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. So next season, I'm intrigued to see what teams will do. I mean, I'm more
I
intrigued to
forgot that Nottingham beat Leicester 8-0. And that was it.
Oh, right. Oh, yes. No. There was a reason.
Game got called off.
I think a player had a cardiac arrest.
But that was it was still like second quarter though. Like it was
first quarter.
Was it first quarter?
Okay. Yeah. It was first quarter.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that one because I think we were both shocked. We were both confused until we saw all the all the messages. It was like, oh shit, right. I hope he's okay. Has there been any update on that player?
I was gonna say there's been a few injuries this season
that have been very scary,
serious ones, and I haven't followed up in terms of like looking to see where we're at. So I hope that everybody who has suffered from some form of serious injury this season, especially the game-ending ones, is doing all right.
Yeah, like next year, I'm hoping that there will be a bit more. Lots of top teams will have new head coaches for the next season. That's very true. There's a lot of things that may change. There might not even be a Blitz B, but we will have to see what happens there. There might be more single teams now, which will probably be better as well for the league. We say this, but we don't know yet. There's one coach. Solent already announced their new head coach, which was Dave Gibbs. Manchester has obviously promoted George. I'm going to screw up his second name because I can't remember what his second name is. I'm going to say it's Connolly.
I have no idea.
Basically, the offensive coordinator for Manchester Titans is now the head coach.
Right, okay.
So I'll be interested. So there is still 4 positions open: London Blitz, London Olympians. Actually, there might be 3. I can't remember who the last one is. Can't remember who the last team is. But there'll be a lot of new faces, a lot of new schemes, a lot of new teams trying out different things. So it will be a fun time. It will be a fun time to see what happens come March, February, when teams start to get back together. Vanguard will be in the South. Well, yep, that's true. Vanguard should be a new team in the league as well. With their
not should be, will be.
Will be. Depending on what division they get put in. I still think that Division 2 should probably just get cut, but that's just me. Cats. Is Cats the last team without a head coach? Oh, George Foster. There we go.
George Foster needs to be from this year as new head coach. Okay.
So there's a lot of changes happening, but one thing that will never change is that TA will always be the head coach of the London Warriors. That will never change. But hopefully it will also breed new competition. Hopefully it will breed more players to be a lot better. Thought the way Vanguard were being bigged up over the weeks, they were going straight to the Prem.
Just the way that everybody's been talking about the Vanguard. Well, I mean, they lost to Bristol, but
yeah. Cats head coach. So hopefully, with a new coach for the Cats, it'll be a different sort of.
Is it Russ? You gonna throw your name in the ring?
Yeah. Are you gonna be the head coach, Russ? Or will we get the scoop? Will we get the scoop first before anyone else? But no, my hope is that next season there'll be a lot more competition.
So I refuse to answer any of Tibbs' questions because I feel like they're trolling.
Because I don't even know who that is or what that is. So
it's probably an associate team, but I don't know if they actually exist. So I'm just going to choose to ignore
him. But yeah, I feel that hopefully next year we will see a lot of changes. Russ already has. Okay.
Russ has already put his name in the ring.
So
let's go.
To be fair, who actually makes the decision?
It'd be a board decision, you'd assume, wouldn't it?
Is there a board? Like, I didn't. Fair enough.
I'd assume so.
Fair play. I guess that makes sense. Now, with that, hopefully, again, Cambridge is in a good catchment area. They just need to get the players to be able to actually do something interesting. They were the third best team this year. They were the third. So, are you done?
Nope. I was going to say, keep going. I'm nearly done.
Oh.
I've got all the picks. I'm just doing the maths now.
Oh, okay. So Tebs has asked, what are you going to do with your Monday nights and Sunday nights now? And Sundays now? Me?
Sundays is for NFL.
Yeah, Sundays is shopping, NFL, and chill. Unless I have another sport to go shoot and get more involved in.
Monday nights I'll be writing weekly NFL articles.
And Monday nights I'll probably be sleeping.
Right. I went 209 and 59.
Wait, what's the 9? Ties?
No, so 209.
Oh, 209. I thought you said 200 and then 9 and then 15. I was like,
no, 209 and 59.
That means, wait, can I give a guess?
So I had a 78% success rate.
Can I have a guess at what mine is? Mine was probably
I don't know what yours is, so you're more than welcome to guess.
Oh, come on. You would have done my one.
Fucking 19 weeks worth of maths to do. Give me a break.
You're not using Excel for you to do a formula. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna guess that I was probably something around 190, because there were games that I tried to snipe and they failed miserably.
You did try to get a little bit. You tried to get a little bit spicy a couple of times.
I did, and it just failed miserably, and I don't know why I did it, but I did at the end of the day. So yeah, I expected. I'm not that surprised. I'm gonna be honest. Annoyed, kind of annoyed.
So
but
what do you think the gap was between the two of us?
You probably beat me by at least 15 to 20 choices. More or less.
I beat you by 10.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, so I had 190.
You went 199 and 69.
Oh, hey, 69.
Nice.
Bloody hell.
You had a 74% hit rate.
Fuck. So them guesses, the ones that I tried to go wild card with just screwed me up. If I just didn't do that, it probably would have ended around the same.
Tibbs went 2-2, had a 50% hit rate. He got the oh, actually no, that's right. He went 3-1, 75% hit rate.
Wait, we got to take out the cat treat. So technically I won.
I mean, that is highly possible because I have no idea how well the cat treat jar actually last time I kept track, the cat box was at 7-2. So
yeah, he still would have been by 3.
Yeah, so three quarters of the time you were right. Close to 4/5 of the time I was right. So
yeah, I should never go for them.
Does that say more about me and you, or does it say more about
the league?
Yeah,
it says more about.
I think it says more about the league.
More about the league
because we're not massively tapped in. We're predominantly box score watching.
Yeah,
like if it looks like you're good, we're going to presume you're good. So the fact that like the only time I ever pay attention to Britball is on a Monday night from 7:30. Like, so the fact that we can do that and I can still pick 78% of the games correctly
is wild. Yeah,
tells me everything that I need to know about the state of American football in Britain at the moment.
Yeah, it needs to get better.
It is highly predictable. If you are good, you are good.
If you're bad, you're bad,
and you will show it. And if you're a cat treat jar, you're a fucking godsend picker.
Oh God! Right, ladies.
I think that's us.
No.
Oh.
Yes,
there we go.
Us.
Let's get that in there.
No. We never came up to anything like that. So Would you both be watching the under-19s 11 and 11 league starting soon? And we don't really do the under-19s.
I think it's more of a question of like, would you have an interest in watching, developmental?
I probably will.
Coming players, you might, because
I probably will.
You care about the state of Britball, and you care about the people that are coming through the systems and things like that. I do not, in the slightest.
I probably will try go to some games maybe to see how it goes. But it's obviously the first year never always goes the way that it's expected to go. So there's only like 4 teams: North, South, West, and Midlands.
I swear to God, if you don't say East, if it's
like Midlands, there's no East. It's not East. It's just it's London. It's London, the West, Midlands, and the North. I swear. I don't think there's an East. I don't think there's an East.
Yeah, but you said North South. Like you went North South. You went North Southwest.
Yeah, I meant to say London. East. I meant to say London. I know. I meant to say London, not the.
Okay.
I meant to say London.
That they'd literally taken 3 compass points and gone right North, South, West, Central.
Yeah, no. So I think that's what it is. I think there's like 4 teams. So I'm not too sure.
You're catching us as we're winding up, Simon. You're catching up as we're winding up.
So
yeah. So 268 games that we picked this season.
That's a lot. That's a lot of games. Over what? 5 months, 4 months, give or take.
Oh shit! I don't know. 19 weeks. So what's that? 5 months?
Yeah, about that. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, 5 months of football. 268 games.
Yeah.
So that will be it for the 2024 rundown. Tibbs will be here from approximately October the 14th to give you the Uniball rundown. You will not see me until April, May, June of 2025. You might see Micah. Micah is heavily involved with Britball stuff. I'm going back in the Britball closet until such a time as I feel like climbing back out.
Yeah, probably. Most people that will probably see me.
Bro, the longer I stay retired, the longer I'm retired, the less inclined I am to climb out of the closet. I will stay as a Britball homosexual, just remaining in the closet.
Oh gosh. No, obviously we got big games coming up in the next couple of months. October, we have GB playing Sweden on the 12th of October, which will be played in Sweden. And then on the 19th of October, GB will be playing Germany at Coventry at Bucks Park Arena. So that should be a great, interesting game to see how they will respond if they win or lose to Sweden on the week before. So that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully I'll probably see some of you lot there out in Germany. But if not, I hope you all stay healthy. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year. Maybe go wild for Halloween. Who knows? But you won't see me and Oz on your TV screen, on your screens until March.
Yeah, April.
March. Yeah. But either way, guys.
Hey, thank you very much for everybody who's been around. Have a good Christmas, Oz. Nothing from Micah.
That's so not nice.
No, thank you very much to everybody who's tuned in. It's been a great run this season. Really enjoyed having you guys along. I mean, all I know is Steve is in the lab cooking up things for next season, bigger and better with live streams and everything else. So keep your eyes peeled to all the socials. Make sure you're following Sportank at Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. If you've got things that you'd like help with club-wise, reach out to us on socials. We might be able to do something. I'm not guaranteeing it because I don't fucking control that part of it. Steve may tell you to do one, but you never know. Apart from that, have a good off-season, guys, and we will see you all again next year.
Yep. Peace. And also congratulations to the champions.
All 4 of them? 5 of them? All of them.
4 of them, unless you're counting them.